Okay. So let me step back and kind of give you some ideas here about how to think about this.
Okay.
Um, what a lot of people start off with is kind of like what you were saying, which is that there's all these social media platforms and they're just trying to figure out how to use it all. Okay. And the thing is that you don't need to figure out how to use it all. You just need to figure out what's the one channel that would work the best. And
Right.
so if you're a realtor, and I'm assuming the people that are watching this right now, right, are realtors, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the best thing that you could do is just figure out, just break up your business into three parts. So your three parts are what happens before the person comes to you, what happens during, and what happens after. So we're going to focus this conversation on before, right? So where are your people, so to speak, before they come to you? So whether you're talking about online social media or you're talking about in the physical world, what you want to try to understand is where are my people? Where are they hanging out? So where are they hanging out? Well, if somebody is looking to buy a house, right? So the question is where are they hanging out before they're looking to buy a house? That's the real question, right? Right, yeah. So where are your people before they come to you? And if you're selling a house, right, are these buyers or sellers or both?
It could be both. Real estate agents are consistently looking for either or.
Okay.
So they are constantly marketing to get either one. If the phone rings and it's someone that wants to buy a house, that's good. If it's someone that wants to sell their house, that's good too. But
Okay.
a real estate agent would prefer a seller.
A
And then
seller.
number two runner up would be a buyer. So the seller is the customer of choice.
Okay, cool. The seller. Okay, so I'll give you a few for both. So let's start with the seller. So if somebody wants to sell their house, what you got to think about is what's the first thing that they want to know, or what are a few things they need to know before they sell the house?
They want to know the value of their house.
That's right.
Yep.
Boom. So yeah, no brainer. They want to know. So if it's a seller, they want to know what's the value of their house relative to all the other houses in the market. If it's a
Yep.
buyer, they want to know what is the average home price like in this area for the different types of houses to see basically the question they're trying to answer is how much money, like how much of my money is going to be enough
Yeah.
to get the thing, like how much house can I get for what I got?
I was gonna say what they can afford. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
basically, like, yeah, what can I afford? But even more, it's like, what's the best that it's not what I can afford because look, not most of the people who are going to buy a house, frankly, can't afford it, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to go for the house they can afford. They're going to go for the house they want,
Right.
okay? And then they're going to figure out a way to afford it, right? Um, so that's an important distinction there that you want to keep in mind. So you don't want to sell an affordable house. You want to sell them the house they want.
Yeah.
Um, so let's assume that you're talking, let's say the seller. Okay. So then if you want to get the seller as a lead, what you got to start with is what do they want to know and what can you put together that's free? That's important. What can you put together that's free that
Right.
you could offer to them such that they can put their name and email and they can get it for free
Yeah.
and turn into a lead.
Yeah. So that would be the lead magnet,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so cool. So the main idea should be obvious, right? So we could repeat the main idea over and over again. Most people do. But the important thing to keep in mind about the strategy is that most people don't do it. So if you know it and you haven't done it yet, you don't know it. That's the important thing, right? Somebody might say, well, oh yeah, I know I'm supposed to uh, give a free thing and then get a name and email and
Yeah.
whatever, okay, but they don't have that in place, then they don't know it. So that's number one, okay? So then going on with the strategy then is, okay, well, I know that I need to have a name and email. I know I need to build a list. I know I need to give something away. And then the next question becomes, well, what is that, right? What do I give away? And if you're trying to get a seller as a lead, then what you should be giving away is a guide to the housing prices for those types of houses.
Yep.
Okay. So then, so that would be the first thing would be creating that thing. And that's not difficult because you can go into, I'm not a realtor, so I don't know all the details, but you can go to MLS, and you could find, I imagine you could find how many houses sold, what prices they sold at,
Oh
and
yeah.
take a few pictures of all that and put that together in a little report, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No. No. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah. So the next thing then is, so you have to put that together, and that's not hard. Okay, that's not hard. But the important thing that is that it needs to be timely, right? So you can't put it together one time. So this is something that should be put together, I would probably say like once a month or maybe twice a month. Probably once a month is my gut feeling. So what you would do is you would say, well, let's say it's October right now, so it'd be like what's an area that you live in, Chris?
I live in Harford County in the state of Connecticut, specifically Plainville.
Okay, cool. So is Plainville the city?
Yes.
Okay. So then what I would do is if I was trying to get a seller as a lead, what I would do is I would put together, okay, well, the October 2014 guide to Plainville housing prices. Okay, and
Yeah.
if I was trying to get condos, I would say condo prices, or if it was a duplex, it'd be duplex prices, right?
Oh yeah. That's
And
good.
it might be helpful to actually put together different guides based on the different type of leads that you want to attract, right? So the more specific and targeted your information is to your target audience, the better, because then they can look at it and they could say, "Oh wow, that's for me. That's something. Oh, awesome. Like I want to get that." So that's step number one, is figuring out well, step one is figuring out exactly what information they would need right now to get to their next step of what it is they want.
Right.
Step two is once you have that information, putting that information together so that you could offer it for free. And then step three would be, okay, now you have this information um, put together. Now the question is, where are my people hanging out such that I can make the offer for this, make this free offer to them such that they can take it. So once you're at step three, then you just start asking the question, okay, where are they hanging out offline? Where are they hanging out online? And just break those down.